All right. Yes. Hi. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name's Ethan Van Sciver. Hi. How are you? How is everybody tonight? Let's just see if we can get some people in here. Let's get a few people in here. Let's see how it's going. Yeah, this is happening. I'm here. I'm here. Hi. Hi everyone. No music. No music this time. I'm sitting here working on OBS. Somebody sent me a nice YouTube video on how to get OBS working. I'm going to get it working. I'm going to figure it out. And I don't need any help. I'm a big boy. I can do it. You guys can call me a boomer all you want. But I can, I can get this done. Short wait time. Absolutely. Listen, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Your time is valuable. Your time is money. No music? Well, I started it. Yeah, we're not going to do music today. Not until I get OBS working, and then we can play OBS Streamlabs. We can play music and it'll sound good. It'll sound natural. I can actually do videos, I can I don't know. It'll be good. Zebulon Pike points out that I am a big boy. Absolutely. One of the biggest. Jim N says my time is pi. It's 3:14 all the time when your time is pi. 3:14. That's the time to eat pie when it's 3:14 p.m. Is this just me or guests? It's just me. It's just me. I can't control my guests. When guests are here, they act nutty. And then what do I do? And this is just real quick. This is this is I want to talk about this, and it's pretty funny. Yeah, let's see. Don't draw me as the Bob's Big Boy mascot. Come on, for goodness sakes. Jesus A. Sabalas Jr. says that 2-page spread you've been working on is fucking gorgeous. I can't wait to see it colored. It was reminiscent of Spidey when Spidey saw the 9/11 disaster. Yikes. Yeah, that's not. Wow, that's scary. ADSF says hello from Algeria. I love you, Uncle Ethan. Love you too, ADSF, and thank you for being here. Jeffrey Blasseman says opinions on John Buscema. He's my favorite. Yeah, I like John Buscema a lot. I think he's fantastic. He was he set the standard for how to draw comics the Marvel way. It's true. It's true. All right, it's good to have you guys here. Let's talk about this silliness. Let's talk about this silliness that's going on right now. How come I don't sound good? Let me see if I can make myself sound better. Should I fix the game? Oh, now I sound booming. I like it. T. Paddington says, what was it like co-writing Firestorm with Gail Simone? Pretty awful. It was pretty awful. I think I've done a video about it. It was painful. Every day of it was painful. It sucked. Not a good experience. We had a better time writing a Wonder Woman one shot later. But yeah, the Gail Simone writing Wonder Woman sucked. Oh, I mean, not Wonder Woman, Firestorm. It sucked. Yeah. No good at all. Hey, there's John Malin. How you doing, John Malin? Good to be here. All right, so listen. Today I woke up and I just said to myself, Ethan, it's time to get downstairs and do your video. What are you going to do your video about today? And I don't even know. Like what I'll normally do is I'll have an iPad. I've got 100 iPads. Actually, I've been kind of swearing off iPads a little bit. Like Ava is more into the iPads now. She likes to play these kind of I don't know, these Sesame Street and Daniel the Tiger video game apps that we buy. And so mostly Ava is walking around with my 800 iPads, but I always have one iPad with me that's right next to my bed, so that when I wake up in the morning, I can just immediately search for like the news, the pop culture news, and figure out what my morning video is going to be. So I'm brushing my teeth, I'm reading the news, and lo and behold, there is a bleeding cool article about Chuck Wendig. A bleeding cool article about Chuck Wendig. Now, I knew this already. I don't know why this is news now. I'd heard this weeks ago, but the news article was reporting on Chuck Wendig, the fact that his Darth Vader book had been canceled post his firing. So this was not news to me. I knew about it, but for some reason, it was making the morning news cycle. I think Bleeding Cool got it, and then 800 other places got it as well. Bleeding Cool is the article. Well, that's the website that I chose to make the video based on. I love, like, Bleeding Cool is pure evil. They're malevolence. They are a malignant, horrible website, full of liars and cheats and grifters. I mean, their entire, by the way, grift. That is the new word, grift. Uh, their whole website is set up to with like these kind of ad, unless you have ad block, these booby traps that will take you off the website, that'll freeze your computer. It's pretty dreadful. I mean, really, only somebody with top-notch equipment like myself, somebody with Alienware computerware should go in there and bring you guys the news. I'll extract the news from Bleeding Cool for you guys. Absolutely. So, in any case, I reported the video, or I made a video about it. That was my morning video about how Chuck Wendig basically got, when he got all right. Again, Ethan, stop for a minute. Tell the story. Okay. Now you have to assume that not everybody in the chat right now, I'm talking to myself, not you guys. Okay. This is an inner monologue that I'm letting you guys in on. Okay. You have to imagine that not everyone in the chat knows the whole story. And if you don't know the whole story, then what I'm saying sounds like gibberish. It sounds like Greek. You feel like you're like, hey Ethan, what videos do I need to watch to get caught up? No. It's my job to actually tell the story, and I'm going to do it in an interesting way. I'm not going to do it with just a page of text like this is some Spider-Man comic, modern day Spider-Man comic. Hey, here's a page of stupid text for you to read to get caught up. We're not going to show it to you. We're going to make you read this whole big boring block of text so that you know where we're going. Our writers these days, they're not able to actually get a reader caught up organically within the story. We have to hit you with a big block of text. That's not me. I will actually tell you guys what's up. Okay. I came into contact with Chuck Wendig way back when I had when I premiered my Soy-Lo t-shirt. Chuck Wendig and some other clown were making fun of it. They were like, they didn't like the Soy-Lo t-shirt. They hated the Soy-Lo t-shirt. And I came in and made fun of them for making fun of the Soy-Lo t-shirt and was instantly blocked by Chuck Wendig. And that was it. That was the only time I'd ever spoken one-on-one with Chuck Wendig. He is a cipher, when it comes to me. I've never met him. I don't know his work. I've never read any of his books. He was just a clown that was making fun of my incredibly successful Soy-Lo, a Soy Wars Sorry t-shirt. By the way, I mean, we sold like 1,000 of those. That was a great time. Gateway into Comics, thanks for $10. Hey everyone, I'm the guy that uses a flamethrower on comic books. I'm a lifelong writer, and my vids are all about my entire writing process from start to finish. We will create while their books burn. Well, that's beautiful. He does. He uses a flamethrower. All right, so that was the only time. Now, Chuck Wendig became curious about me when he began to hear about Comicsgate. Turns out that Chuck Wendig is kind of connected to the NPC SJW kind of underground, which I didn't realize then was kind of unionized. It's a very, very strange thing. I'm going to show you something, and it's going to kind of flip your lid. It's going to kind of, flip your wig. Can it flip your wig? That's like when your wig pops up off your head and then does a 180 and then lands back on your head again, like in cartoons. It can flip your wig. In any case, I'll show you that in a minute. So Chuck Wendig is kind of, I don't know, he's kind of an LOL cow. He's a lol cow for comic skaters because he posts these incredibly profane, vulgar, stupid tweet threads that basically curse out Republicans. He's just his politics are on full view, full display, and he does it in a way that's vulgar and inevitably was going to lead to his doom. He uses the F word a lot. He invites people to eat fecal matter. All of these things that, really probably Disney was trying to insinuate themselves against when they fired James Gunn. I mean, they fired James Gunn when it was kind of brought out into the public, his incredibly weird tweeting history. When they fired him, they were hoping everybody would kind of get the message, but Chuck Wendig didn't get the message. He went on a full-scale tweet rampage after Kavanaugh was confirmed. and that was it. They'd had enough of him. They just had enough of him. Now, before that, all during the summertime, he was calling Star Wars fans white supremacists. He was fully involved. I mean, you can find all this great stuff on Bounding into Comics. They chronicled his lapse of judgment pretty well. They did a good job of it. But all during the summer, Chuck Wendig was freaking out, saying ridiculous, cruel things about the fans of Star Wars, the ones that he personally did not agree with. And finally, Star Wars just, and Disney and Marvel just kind of had enough of it. He was supposed to be writing the Star Wars Darth Vader book, and he, I don't know, he had just announced it the week before, and then 1 week later he was fired. And it was, I have to say, for some of us, even though I don't like seeing people get fired, I think that in this case it was kind of like reassuring. It was almost like, oh, the police are going to come. You know what I mean? If you're being beaten down by criminals and you think that you live in a lawless city and the police never come to protect you, and there's no justice ever, it's pretty dispiriting. But it's like when Chuck Wendig finally went on that tweet rampage, and it was just, he was calling everybody names. He's telling people that they're going to die, that winter is coming, and all this bizarre, hateful, just a hate tirade against people who vote the way I do. Marvel Comics finally said, enough is enough. You're fired. And it was a good thing. It wasn't, hey, we want Chuck Wendig to be fired. It was more like, justice prevails. Like maybe the universe is somewhat fair. Maybe it could be fair. So Chuck didn't take this well, by the way. Chuck didn't take this well at all. He kind of, instead of being introspective, instead of taking this time to kind of think about his behavior, what he might have done that might have caused this, and maybe how he could improve in the future, instead he blamed the fans. He exposed his editor, the name of the editor who actually fired him, to his lunatic unionized base. Now, why do I think they're unionized? Why do I think that? Because one of them, this guy right here, writer Chase Magnet threatens consequences after Marvel fired Chuck Wendig. Are you kidding me, kid? Look at this. This is absolutely spectacular. And by the way, he's not alone in this. This was a lot of people. This is a lot of people, like big name writers. Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, came out and said, we don't know why this could happen. This isn't fair. Had a whole group of people trying to scientifically prove, by the way, that yours truly was the reason why Chuck Wendig got fired, not his own tweets. Like somehow I made it appear that his tweets were worse than they were because I criticized them. Me. And that was the reason why he got fired. There was all kinds of wackiness, all kinds of weirdness that was going on to try to, I don't know, I think it was to try to encourage people to not learn from this lesson. Like somebody else is to blame. It's not you. Please do continue to go on and fight against the right wing, fight against Republicans, continue to use your seat of power, your position of influence to bark weirdo SJW nonsense at the world. And that's the culture war. That's what you're here for. So they tried to hide that fact. Now, in the meantime, some of these other writers were actually issuing active threats. Check this out. Whoever takes, should I do my soy voice for this? Why did you do it, Ethan? Says Rodwell Stevens. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess because I value the truth, and I want to issue the truth to you guys, my subscribers. That's why I have 754 people watching now, because you guys know that you're going to get the truth here. All right, so soy voice this. This is C.A. Maggot, he calls himself, but that's not his real name. It was Halloween. Whoever takes Chuck Wendig's work is making... So Chuck Wendig's gone, all right? He's been fired from 3 issues of Darth Vader. By the way, Darth Vader would be one of Marvel Comics' top selling comics. They're going to make money off of this. Unlike some of this other stuff that they put out in the name of social justice, Darth Vader is actually going to make the money. Yes, of course, this is going to pay the bills. This is going to pay for... I don't know. We're going to, do this whole thing where Prince Namor comes out as gay. This is going, and that's not going to sell very well. We're going to, this is going to pay for that, for those books. So we need these Darth Vader books. But here comes Chuck Wendig, acts like a baboon, gets fired off of the book. All right. So now they need to replace him as a writer. That's what Marvel needs to do because the book still needs to come out. Honestly, it's about Star Wars. People would be buying a Darth Vader book not for Chuck Wendig, but for Darth Vader, obviously. Okay, you don't care who writes Darth Vader as long as it's good. Whoever takes Chuck Wendig's work is making comics the worst industry for everyone but the shareholders. They're reducing job security and wages. They are an active participant in everything terrible about this. We have to hold one another accountable now or things will get worse. Holy cow. Whoa. Put a fist up in the air. Throw off your chains, workers. CA Maggot is here to unionize these weirdo social justice warriors. If you do, okay, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Hold on. It doesn't matter what position you are in. If you take this job, you are empowering comics publishers to terminate you and your fellow talent for any reason at all without any repercussions. All right, so the person who takes this job is every bit as guilty in this event as, here we go, Mark Panisha. Okay, the Mark Panisha, the editor over at Marvel, that had to pull the trigger. Because look, you got it. Look, you're bringing unwanted, unpleasant attention to Darth Vader. Okay, so whoever takes this job, and first of all, Mark Panisha, guilty. Go get him. Go get him, my unionized weirdos, my zombies. Go get him. And then whoever takes the job is also equally as guilty as Mark Panisha. Why? Why? Because Chuck Wendig should be able to do whatever he wants to do. Chuck Wendig should be able to act like a monkey. He should be able to call people names. He should be able to literally throw shit on Twitter at people while also basking in the glow of his position of writer of Star Wars. Okay. And if anybody steps in to stop him, here we go. Here come the SJWs. They're going to ruin your life. All right. So here we go. Here's more. Even if you're someone looking for a big break and needing to pay rent, taking this job diminishes your future security. What is he referring to? What is he referring to by future security? What he's trying to say here is these SJW gatekeepers are going to attack you. They are protecting this job now. These people are going to bring consequences to Marvel Comics. Okay, that's what he's threatening. He knows he's somebody who actually is openly letting you know. Most of these conversations happen in-house. There are a lot of night letters sent out. People will receive emails. Hey, I heard a rumor that you were offered this job on Vader. I can't see any good future or outcome from you taking that job. That's the way the comic book industry works right now. That's the way the comic book industry works. So taking this job diminishes your future security. Hey, these weirdos are going to make it so that you can't get work if you are somebody who wants to write a Darth Vader book because Chuck Wendig was fired from it. All right. You can make ends meet in a dozen other industries looking for staff right now without hurting yourself and everyone around you. This is creepy as all hell. All right, so here we go. If someone agrees to write Shadow of Vader 4 and 5, let's put it explicitly now. Let's make this explicit. Let's lay this on the table so that you guys understand exactly who we're dealing with now, who these people are. You guys need to know. I'm here to tell you this is exactly what's going on with the comic book industry right now. Okay, if someone agrees to write Shadow of Vader 4 and 5, their friends, associates, and fellow talent cannot shrug their shoulders. In other words, you will lose your friends, you will lose your associates, and your fellow talent will punish you. Hold this person accountable. Don't help them find work. Don't share kind words. Don't even talk to them. They will be a scab. Treat them like one. All right. So this is obviously unionized, weirdo, far left wing, communist, anti-capitalist bullshit right here. You're looking at it now. This is what's going on with Chuck Wendig. You would think that Chuck Wendig simply getting fired as a consequence for using filthy, super hyper political partisan language and rhetoric on Twitter would lead him to go, all right, well, I'm a good writer though. So what I'm going to do from here on out is stop using my hyper political partisan language. I'm going to apologize to Marvel Comics, try to get back in their good graces and get more work on Spider-Man or something like that. But that's not what happened. That's not what these people are doing to this industry. That's not the situation at all. And this is a keen insight into how this goes. That's right. Where's the big inflatable rat? That's who these people are. That's who these people are. So again, you're going to agree to write Shadow of Vader 4 and 5. All right. Well, your SJW friends, people who you thought were your friends, are going to turn against you. Associates are going to turn against you. Fellow talent cannot shrug their shoulders. You will be held accountable. You will not be able to find work. Nobody will say nice words about you. Nobody will even talk to you. It's going to get very cold. And the reason and the thing about it is that, you know what? If anybody does, those people are going to be treated just like you. So if somebody steps forward and says, "Hey, yeah, I heard that you're going to do this Vader book." Well, I know the industry's kind of acting wacky, but I'm still your friend. No, that person has now put themselves into a position where they are going to have their friends, associates, fellow talent, and they're going to be held accountable. They're not going to be allowed to find work. They're not going to get kind words. Nobody will be able to talk to them. I have said this over and over and over again. These people need to be rooted out of comic books. They need to be fired. SJWs need to be fired from every single industry that they are in. Every industry that they infect, they need to be uprooted and fired. Why? Because of this. Because of this. This is cancerous. This is cancerous. This isn't okay. Yeah, look at this. I'm genuinely curious. By the way, genuinely curious. That's another SJW phrase. I am making a list of SJW phrases. If somebody says to you, "I'm genuinely curious," on Twitter, they're an SJW. They all talk the same. They all say the same things. They'll say, "I'm genuinely curious," and then they'll say, "It's interesting that you blah, 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 blah. It's really telling." Or the fact that you do this, blah, 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 is very telling. They'll say that. Then you're dealing with an SJW. All right, hang on. Let me get a drink. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, this is the situation now. Okay, so this happened a month ago, but now people are starting to notice that Marvel. Okay, the firing happened a month ago. Marvel has had no choice but to cancel Shadow of Vader. Okay. In other words, it would have been nice. I mean, in a normal industry, this writer would have been taken off and another writer would have been brought in to finish Shadow of Vader 4 and 5. Marvel would have made the money off of these comics and it would have been great. It would have been easy. That's kind of the way things normally go, right? No, not at all. Marvel heard these threats loud and clear. This is not a single voice talking here. This is not just one kid talking here. This is not just one soy-based goofball talking. This is the way the industry is right now. This is absolutely the way the industry is. Marvel knows it, and Marvel realized in order to stay safe, in order to keep their staff safe, in order to keep other freelancers safe, they better cancel Shadow of Vader 4 and 5. And that's what they had to do. What happens? Now you could just cancel it quietly. It's no big deal. Nobody needs to know that, right? I mean, it's not a real big deal. No, wrong. A message has to be sent. Here's the Hollywood Reporter. Can you imagine? Can you imagine actually a comic book getting canceled? 2 issues of a comic book getting canceled, ending up on the front page of the Hollywood Reporter. Can you imagine that? This is the message. This is the message that gets sent. This is what's happening right now. This is the message to Marvel Comics. This is the message to you, to anyone who is going to disagree. I'm gonna read these articles because the one that I read from the Bleeding Cool website today was completely disingenuous. They pretended to not know why he was fired. Hey, his fellow writers, they couldn't figure out why. He was fired for his belligerent and disgusting tweets. That's why he was fired. They won't show you those tweets. Let me see if any of these, by the way, okay, so here you go. Here's the message being sent out. Hollywood Reporter today, front page of Hollywood Reporter. Here's what is, okay, so that's bounding into comics. Here's comicbook.com, Star Wars, Marvel officially cancels Shadow of Vader miniseries. Here's Sci-Fi Wire, Chuck Wendig's delayed Darth Vader comic is officially dead at Marvel. Marvel cancels Star Wars, Shadow of Vader after firing writer from CBR here. Superhero hype. Marvel officially cancels Chuck Wendig's Star Wars series. Over here, Polygon. Marvel officially cancels Darth Vader series after removing writer Chuck Wendig. The issues Wendig completed before being fired will not be released. IO9, Gizmodo. No thanks. Marvel Comics scraps new Darth Vader series after Chuck Wendig's controversial exit. Okay. This is all, I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like this before. A comic book gets canceled every single day. Every single day, these comic books are canceled, and it's not a big deal. It's just the comic book was canceled. We move on. No, this is a big deal. This is now a message that needs to be sent. If you fire our social justice warriors, if you fire our culture warriors who are out actively in the field, spouting their gibberish, spouting their bullshit, if you fire them, we are going to make sure that we send a clear message to everyone in the industry that it's not going to be tolerated. There will be consequences for the company, for Marvel Comics. There will be consequences for anybody who wants to take over his job. Now, I pointed this out today. Chuck Wendig is squealing like a stuck pig. Here we go. Here's Chuck Wendig's tweet. By the way, I am blocked from Chuck Wendig's Twitter. I'm surprised that he is able to see my Twitter account, but he is. He's monitoring it. Here's Chuck Wendig. Awesome. The seventh or eighth video from EVS about me? Dozens and dozens of tweets. He and Comicsgate and his whole world are an engine of harassment off which he endlessly grifts his audience. Jesus fucking Christ. Chuck Wendig, you're in the news. You're a social justice warrior who's making big news. I have to report it. It is culture war. It is Star Wars. If you don't like me talking about you, stay out of the news and stop being a public figure and stop getting your weirdo soy boy unionized little commie friends to threaten Marvel Comics and all of my creative peers, which is what you're doing. If you don't want me talking about you, stop threatening my peers. Stop it. Okay. I'll make videos like this all the time. I want people to know exactly what's going on with you. I want people to know. It's worth it. It's worth it to me. Marvel Comics scraps new Darth Vader series after Chuck Wendig's controversial exit. I guess this is video number 9? Actually, it's number 4, but sure, 8 or 9. After a month and a half after it was first announced at New York Comic-Con, Marvel has pulled the plug on its latest Star Wars miniseries, Shadow of Vader, bringing an awkward end to the saga the publisher created by booting. Yeah, you don't want to use the word boot when he's talking about a boot. I mean, his whole thing was a boot covered in shit. He wanted, he wanted people to eat that boot. Chuck Wendig from the book in the first place. Wendig made waves last month when he explained in a lengthy series of tweets that he had been fired from the Shadow of Vader title. So we're going to read these real quick, and I just want to see, how many of these articles are actually the truth. I'm going to see how many of them actually talk about what his tweets say. And et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I think that's important. So we need to know which of these garbage tier pop culture sites are actually honest, if any of them. Okay, so Wendig made waves last month when he explained in a lengthy series of tweets that he had been fired from the Shadow of Vader title. At that point, mere days after the series had been publicly unveiled, with the writer pinning the reasoning as allegedly down to an editor citing Wendig's coarse language on social media, combined with the writer's discussion of U.S. politics online. When initially asked, a Marvel Comics representative would not confirm why Wendig was suddenly off the book. It was the latest in a long line of recent incidents in the pop culture space over hollow calls for civil discourse in the wake of targeted campaigns of harassment. I'll bet this is Comicsgate. This keeps happening, and what is this article? This keeps happening, and it fucking sucks. That's nice. Can you believe this? This is the news. People use the F word at. This is the media now. This is SJW media. That's unreal. All right, so Chuck Wendig equals Kelly Marie Tran, I guess. Since then, Marvel has stayed quiet about the book, although its absence from solicitations for the publisher's January 2019 releases started rumors swirling that the series wouldn't get a replacement writer. Wendig had written 3 of the 5 intended issues and instead just never hit shelves. Now Polygon is reporting, citing sources at Marvel Comics and sources speaking to IO9 have confirmed that that is indeed the case. Shadow of Vader has been scrapped altogether. Wendig tweeted a few responses to the news, expressing his sadness that the series will never see the light of day, and characters that the writer had created in his trilogy of Star Wars Aftermath novels wouldn't get the chance to make their way into the comics universe. Okay, so this is today. As some have sent the news to me, since I know some have asked, it looks like Marvel has officially canceled Shadow of Vader after booting me from the book. Well, what choice did they have, Chuck? Obviously, I'm disappointed, or more so because I was knocked from the book in the first place, because I'd written 3 issues, and honestly, I thought they were really good, especially the one with the Death Star morgue attendant. I should note that the Shadow of Vader's issues would have had some nice aftermath crossovers, a glimpse of Sinjar, the Acolytes of the Beyond, and some Snap. That's my greatest bummer. I'd love to continue seeing the aftermath characters elsewhere. Alas, onward. Shadow of Vader will be, well, left in the shadows, unseen beyond the covers, presented in its announcement at New York City Comic Con just a few short weeks ago. So this is a lot of alleged. What do the comments look like here? I'm sorry, I'm curious about this. Yeah, it's all the alt-right's fault. It's all alt-right people. Marvel's burning bridges. Sure. Can you imagine being Marvel Comics and having to endure this? I mean, can you imagine being Marvel Comics and having to endure this kind of, oh, this is Marvel's fault. This is Marvel. Marvel's business acumen is starting to remind me of WCW back in the mid 90s. I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound like a good thing. Marvel's just trying to have to employ people who aren't insane. Honestly. All right, so this is garbage. This is garbage tier. They refer to alleged misbehavior, but they don't actually talk about what it is. Oh my God, here comes Polygon. Here comes Polygon. The issues that Wendig completed before being fired will not be released. Marvel has canceled its Star Wars Shadow of the Vader miniseries following the firing of its writer Chuck Wendig, seemingly over his social media presence. It's a link here. I'm sure it's porn. Do you think it's porn? If it's porn, should I click it? If it's porn that Polygon would link to, should I click it? I don't think I should. What kind of porn would Polygon link me to? That's the question. The news was first discovered by comics retailers who noticed that Shadow of Vader #1 was not available for pre-order. All right, let's move this. All right, at the time of his removal, Wendig had already completed work on 3 issues of the 5-issue series. The author, comic writer, and Lucasfilm Expanded Universe storyteller was unexpectedly removed from Shadow of Vader. He didn't expect it. Why should he expect it? He thought he could continue doing what he was doing endlessly and without consequence. All right, so why? The writer said his editor told him it was because of too much politics, too much vulgarity, too much negativity in his Twitter presence. I mean, it's a bummer, Wendig told Polygon of the book's cancellation. I wrote the hell out of a few scripts, outlined a few more, and the books had a few small to large touchstones to my Star Wars novel series, Aftermath, and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Marvel has made headlines several times in the past 2 years over the political actions or speech of its creatives. Wendig's firing happened 3 months after Marvel and Lucasfilm's parent company, Disney, fired James Gunn. Yeah, I think James Gunn and Chuck Wendig belong in the same sentence together. They are two weird. I will use an SJW word, problematic. I would call them problematic individuals, difficult to employ. Because they are going to get you a lot of negative attention. After, quote, a far-right harassment campaign surfaced offensive tweets from his account. I remember that day. That was something else. Basically, what happened was Mike Cernovich, a guy named Mike Cernovich, who was a right-wing journalist. I don't know. Did he just get sick of James Gunn one day? He went back. He did a little sting operation and found James Gunn was making pedophile references, and he was interacting with child pornographers for years and years. And I guess he'd cleaned up his act, but I mean, this was still kind of filthy stuff that all told and exposed and brought forward to the surface made Disney realize they didn't want to have anything to do with him. Moral of the story is, I don't know, don't make references like that. All right, so and a lot of them, by the way, endless. The thing about the James Gunn situation, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's one thing to, oh God, it's one thing to make a racist joke. You know, it's one thing to make a racist joke. If you're making a racist joke every single day, you might be a racist. You might be. There might be something wrong with you. The first time, the people around you, your peers, will go, meh, yeah, all right. Second time, people will go, meh. Third, fourth, fifth time, people are going to start to, I don't know, across the street to avoid you. They're going to assume things about you. And James Gunn was constantly making jokes about child rape, pedophilia, and all of that stuff. And, you know, it wasn't nice. It wasn't pleasant. Chuck Wendig, same kind of thing here, except it was all about politics and violence associated with politics, not being civil. These are things that they're, you know, Marvel, DC, and Disney did not want to associate itself with. So, you know, out of here. Okay, so 1 month after Marvel unexpectedly fired Chelsea Cain, another left-leaning novelist. Wow, they are cleaning out the liberals. They're cleaning out the SJWs, I guess. That's what it appears to be here. That is the theory of Polygon. That you know, left wingers are getting tossed out. This is interesting. The artist on Marvel Comics' most recent cable series, John Malin. Malin Militia. All right, Polygon gets. I can't believe John Malin got a mention in Polygon. That's fantastic. If you like John Malin getting a mention in Polygon, hit that thumbs up button right now. Hit that thumbs up button for the Malin Militia, for John Malin getting mentioned directly after this ridiculous paragraph that implies that Marvel Comics is not going to tolerate liberals. They're not going to tolerate left wingers. John Malin, what a big star. Let's check this out. The artist on Marvel's most recent cable series, John Malin, made waves in January of 2018. Oh, I remember. I was here. After his book's cancellation had already been announced, with tweets saying that Nazis were SJWs. That is not what he said. John Malin, where are you? Are you in the chat right now? You were here a little bit earlier. I want to know how you feel about the accusation that you were saying that Nazis are SJWs. I mean, it's sort of true. I mean, I'll take it. You know, I'll go ahead and say that now. But I'm not sure that was precisely your comment. Not at all. All right, let's see here. All right, and also in April of 2017, Marvel fired Indonesian artist Ardian Syaf after he snuck anti-Semitic and anti-Christian references into the backgrounds of X-Men Gold #1. That was wacky. Is that it? All right, so let's see. Yeah. I'm looking at the comments here. All right, so Wendig's firing was pure cowardice on Marvel's part. And then this guy is actually sensible. He says the problem is that one person's hate mob is another person's advocate group. I tend to agree. If Wendig wants to be a hateful bigot on his Twitter feed, that's his business, and people shouldn't be fired for stuff like that. But these days, as the whole Kavanaugh thing proved, all it takes is for some advocate group to get their panties in a twist over someone else's pet peeve, and you can fire them, deny them a job, ruin their life, or whatever else. And somebody says, Chuck Wendig, you can call Chuck Wendig a hate man. No, he is a hateful bigot, says Riddle Me This. That's a fact. And you are not seeing, and you not seeing that is what's broadcasting your ignorance. Hate goes both ways, and you don't get to rebrand it just because you find it politically uncomfortable. Good for you. Good for you. I love it. There's some reasonable people on Polygon, and it's making my day. It's absolutely making my day. Fantastic. Yes, he's a hateful bigot. He is an absolute hateful bigot. Dallas Niner says hating bigots doesn't make you a bigot. Cool. Well, I hate Chuck Wendig then, and he is a bigot, and so I guess that makes me not a bigot. See how that works? All right. Take off my shirt here. No, not my whole shirt. Just I was wearing a flannel. I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath. I didn't just take off. I'm not sitting here naked. Don't worry. Oh my God, heaven forbid. All right. So superhero hype. Believe it or not, like that was slightly better. That was a slightly better article for Polygon. Hold on, let me check out these hot toys. Yeah, I would get. Do I want any of these Batmans? Not really. Obi-Wan Kenobi's nice. Is that posable? Can I? That's not bad. I would get this Obi-Wan Kenobi. I get this Boba Fett also. Yeah. All right. Let me think about that. Last month, Marvel pulled writer Chuck Wendig's upcoming Star Wars Shadow of Vader miniseries from its list of January solicitations. Wendig was previously fired by the company due to his use of vulgarity on social media when commenting on political matters. Well, that's fair. Hey, that's good. That's good. Yeah, the publisher didn't officially state whether the book would ever hit comic book stores, but today they confirmed that the series has been permanently shelved. Now, what they're not saying is why. They're not explaining why. They feel like it's perhaps unsafe. Might be unsafe to put this book out. All right, Superhero Hype did a good job. I mean, not a great job, but they did an okay job. CBR, oh God. Oh my God. Keep the clothes on, Ehe, all of them, says Mr. Got Rocks. I'm wearing my Cyberfrog t-shirt. I had a flannel on over the t-shirt, but all my lights are on my desk. I'm not a slimy nudist, not at all, or a horse thief. Yeah, not at all. All right, CBR. This, what do you think the odds are that CBR is going to be fair about this? Let's find out. Marvel Comics has officially canceled the planned Star Wars Shadow of Vader miniseries more than a month after firing Chuck Wendig. The best-selling author announced in October that he'd been fired from the final 2 issues of the miniseries because of his responses on Twitter to a dedicated campaign of harassment against him. What is that, Chuck? Chuck, what was that dedicated campaign of harassment against you? Was that the Kavanaugh hearings? Did you take that personally? Chuck, are you taking Chuck, are you seeing Trump's presidency as a dedicated campaign of harassment against you personally? Is that what you're doing? Uh dedicated campaign of harassment against you. Fascinating, Chuck. Wendig said the harassment began shortly after the release of his 2015 novel Star Wars Aftermath, which introduced a gay character to the franchise canon. It was too much politics. Boys, this is the most dishonest article so far. This is actually worse than Bleeding Cool. Congratulations, CBR. You are officially garbage. So he's saying that, yeah, Star Wars' Aftermath, which introduced a gay character back in 2015. It's 2018, Chuck. Are you telling me that you have endured nonstop harassment for 3 entire years now, and Marvel's only just catching on to it? Fascinating. What a god. So they're connecting this quote here to the Star Wars gay aftermath book. It was too much politics, too much vulgarity, too much negativity on my part, Wendig wrote of his firing. Basically, I was not civil. So being civil would be not putting a gay character in Star Wars. That's the connection they're trying to draw in the peanut-sized brains of the people who regularly visit CBR. However, the ultimate fate of Shadow of Valor, garbage tier. Good Lord. Good Lord. Shadow of Vader, you mean? Wasn't clear until now. Marvel has notified retailers that the entire miniseries, originally intended to debut this month, has been canceled and will not be resolicited. This isn't the first time someone who works within Star Wars universe has faced real-world ramifications from online pressure. Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose Tico in The Last Jedi, hallowed be her name. The beautiful Kelly Marie Tran, the wonderful Rose Tico. Wonderful. Was eventually forced off social media because of relentless online attacks. Literally untrue. That is absolutely, or if it is true, there's no proof of it. Nobody has ever asked her for some reason, and she has never said that that was the case. So that is a lie. Every word of this article is a lie. CBR, you are officially complete garbage. Complete garbage. All right, so let's check out Sci-Fi Wire real quick here. And see, I mean, unbelievable. Did you guys see that? Ridiculous. We'll hear the Sideshow toys again. By the way, the reason why this ad is popping up is because, of course, I just bought the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi hot toy Sideshow action figure. And now they're trying to tempt me with more. I would get the Emperor here. And I don't really want it. Like, I want Jabba's palace. I saw that for $300, I could get Han Solo in carbonite. Now, that is a purchase that I will make. but I won't make it until after Christmas, or I will tell Andrea about it and she can get it for me for Christmas because she says, "You're not even asking. I don't even know what you're getting for." I already got her like a bunch of presents for Christmas. I'm already well into her Christmas list. And she mentions things and I just buy them immediately and put them away. But I haven't really asked for anything. The only thing I've asked for Christmas so far are speakers for my keyboard. I want right now my keyboard's running through guitar amps. I want nice official Nord keyboard speakers. That would be a good Christmas present, and that's all I want. Oh, and frozen Han Solo and carbonite. That's all. Yeah, some people don't want to buy anything for Christmas. Super Unknown says Ethan needs more Bowflex ads. Yeah. Uh, well, I'm looking forward to being done my Cyberfrog book, and then I'm telling you, it's going to be rock and roll. When I'm done my Cyberfrog book, I'm going to be out there working out. You guys are going to be sorry. Well, no, you're not going to be sorry. You're going to be proud of me. You're going to be like, wow, Ethan, you look great. You look 20 years younger. Fantastic. And I'll be like, yeah. And how do you like that Cyberfrog book? How do you like it? All right, let's look at Sci-Fi Wire here and just see if they're garbage. Marvel is not moving forward with the Darth Vader comic miniseries it announced at New York City Comic Con last month. By the way, this is incredible. All of these articles. This is incredible. And by the way, Chuck Wendig blames me. This is the 7th or 8th video from EVS about me. Chuck, why me? Why are you targeting me? Why aren't you targeting for every video that I've made about you? I'm responding to articles about you. My job is just to read articles. Chuck, do you see this? Are you aware? Are you fully aware, Chuck, that everyone in media is talking about you? That you have made such a mess that every single news outlet has to cover for you. Every SJW news outlet has to lie and cover for you. Why are you blaming me? What did I do to you? Oh, you've got that whole thing about how this is all my fault. Got it. Marvel is not moving forward with the Darth Vader comic miniseries it announced at New York City Comic Con last month, following the trebuchet firing of creator, in quotes, Chuck Wendig, who already had reportedly completed writing for more than half of the series. Now we'll never know. We're never going to get to read those books. That could have been canon. Marvel confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that it had pulled Wendig's Shadow of Vader from its lineup, and there are no plans to draft other creators to finish what he'd begun. Okay? So put down the baseball bats, put down the chains, put down all of the weapons, you weirdo SJW whack job union thugs, you soy-based thugs. Put down the weapons. Nobody's going to write your little Darth Vader book. Nobody wants to make the industry a worse place by lowering creator wages, you whack job. I mean, you got to be kidding. These people are... Let me see what he said again. I want to... This is ridiculous. Look at this guy. All right. So what happens? What happens? If you take this job, you are empowering comic publishers to terminate you. Hey, they already have the power to terminate you. They have the power. There is no union. That I know of. There's no official union. Comics publishers have the power to terminate you for any reason at all and without any repercussions. That already exists in the real world, CA Maggot. That is the real world, okay, right now. So whoever takes Chuck Wendig's work is making comics a worse industry for everyone but shareholders. They are reducing job security and wages. How? I want to know how much Chuck Wendig gets paid. I'm pretty sure if I took Chuck Wendig's job on this book, they would have to pay me more. I'm fairly sure that if I got this job, if I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do this Darth Vader shit. They would have to pay me more than they're paying Chuck Wendig. That's just a guess. Hey, but don't whack my kneecaps out, CA Maggot. I don't want to be a scab. I don't want to cross the picket line. All right. Taking this job diminishes your future security. All right. So they're not going to let you work. CA Maggot isn't going to let me work if I take this job. He's going to team up with his little weirdo parakeet men, his little beardy weirdo friends, and they're not going to let me work. All of his weirdos, all of his Tess Fowlers, all those wacky, strange women, they're not going to let you work. They're going to talk shit about you. You can make ends meet in a dozen other industries. The pie industry, the baking industry. I could make ends meet as long as that end is right in my mouth. I would like the pie to start here on one end and then the other end be my mouth. Like just straight down a conveyor belt. Like I Love Lucy. Pie, right in my, yeah. I would like to make that end meet. Other industries looking for staff right now without hurting yourself and everyone around you. So you're going to hurt yourself if you take this job. You take this job, friends, associates, fellow talent, they're not going to shrug their shoulders. Hold this person accountable. Don't help them find work. Don't share kind words. Don't send greeting cards. Don't do it. You know, don't even talk to them. I'm going to be lonely. Inevitably, I will be lonely. All right, soy-based Jimmy Hoffa. They will be a scab. Treat them like one. Good Lord. Jimmy Hoffa. All right, excellent. That's what's going to happen. All right, so that's why they had to cancel the book. Wendig had written the scripts for the first 3 issues in the 5-issue miniseries at the time of his firing, with illustration work already underway at the time, reports THR. Shadow of Vader was initially scheduled to arrive with issue 1 in January, but it was absent from the January release lineup Marvel provided to retailers last month. Shadow was pitched to fans as an exploration of the Sith Lord's legacy through the eyes of other characters who'd witnessed his evil up close. Wendig told an NYCC audience last month that each installment would track the POV of a character that Vader has affected. Wow, I'd like somebody to do a documentary series about that, but about me. I would like somebody to follow somebody whose heart I have affected, whose life I've affected. Follow them around with the camera. I just want to see them grow and flourish. Like Nasser. Follow Nasser around with a camera. Ethan has really touched your heart. And then every episode will be it'd be kind of like Oprah Winfrey style. You know, every episode would be another person whose life I made better. Yes, Cecil would be one. I like the idea of Cecil. You know, and all of the wonderful things I've done for him. So that's what Chuck Wendig was trying to do with Darth Vader. Okay. From an Imperial morgue attendant who notices the bodies that bear the markings of especially cruel deaths to the Vader-worshipping acolytes of the Beyond. Who cares? After the October 12th firing, presumably related to his outspoken views on social media, Wendig told Sci-Fi Wire he assumed it has to do with my politics and making the work inclusive, which some people frame me as shoving politics down their throat, so to speak. Chuck, nobody read your books, Chuck. Chuck, nobody read this. We don't, you know. Yeah. Comicsgate, we didn't read your books. I didn't know. If you hadn't told me that you put gay characters in Star Wars, I wouldn't know. I didn't know there weren't any gay characters in Star Wars. I had no idea. I didn't know. Yeah, that's not why. You got fired not because of any of this. I know that you wish that it was. I know that you wish that you were like the Medgar Evers of SJW Star Wars, but you're not. You're not. I'm afraid you know, you're the SJW Morton Downey Jr. of Star Wars. Sorry, sometimes I make myself laugh. You're not the Medgar Evers of SJW Star Wars. You're the Morton Downey Jr. of SJW Star Wars. And that is your fate. That is, yeah, I know. I laugh. That's my snort laugh. Like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chuck. I'm sorry to have to tell you. But he added, I've had myriad people reach out and tell me they feel seen in a major story world like Star Wars for the first time, and that was heartening to me. They do that to me too. People reach out to me and say, "Thank you, Ethan, for everything that you've done. I finally feel seen in the world of comics because of you." They say, "I thought I was the only one who thought Chuck Wendig was a stupid windbag. Like a hateful, stupid windbag. And then I met you, and you made me realize I wasn't alone." I was like, "You're not alone. You're not alone at all. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You know, you'll meet a lot of people just like you here." Despite his parting of ways with Marvel, Wendig has other projects in the works, including the January release of Vultures, the final book in his Miriam Black series, and next July's release of The Wanderers. All right, so good. He's going to keep busy. All right, so this was garbage. Sci-Fi Wire was garbage. Comic book Star Wars. Why didn't hey, B. Allen Orange, I know you're listening right now. B.A. Orange, where is your article about this on MovieWeb? Kevin Berwick, what are you guys doing? Where's your article? By the way, KSSS says, "Thank you, Ethan, for everything you've done. You've made me feel less bald." Well, it's the least I could do. Yeah, B. Allen, step up to the plate. Let's get your MovieWeb article up here before the news cycle turns over. This is, we have to keep up with the news cycle. That is the thing. Following Marvel firing writer Chuck Wendig from the announced Star Wars Shadow of Vader miniseries, fans wondered what the fate of the series would be, with The Hollywood Reporter confirming the book has officially been scrapped. The book was announced by Lucasfilm, New York City Comic-Con, with StarWars.com previously describing the series, quote, "Each issue will feature a different set of characters." I don't care. Shortly after announcing the series, Wendig took to Twitter to announce he'd been fired from the book. "Today I got the call. I'm fired because of the negativity and vulgarity that my tweets bring. Seriously, that's what Mark Panicia, the editor, said. It was too much politics, too much vulgarity, too much negativity on my part," Wendig wrote on Twitter. "My understanding over this call was that it's a Marvel decision, not a Lucasfilm decision, but I can't really confirm that. The editor said he had made the call. He seemed genuinely upset at my tweets and profanity." Imagine that. The editor calls you and he's actually upset. What do you mean he seemed genuinely upset? He is upset. He's upset. You put him in an uncomfortable position. Chuck, you owe him an apology. And by the way, naming him like this, you owe him an apology for that too. He was genuinely upset because your inability to control yourself on social media put him in an awful position, and he had to call you up and fire you to protect the company, to protect the franchise, to protect the license at Marvel. And then what did you do? You lied about why you were fired. You continue to lie about why you were fired, and then you name him and subject him to harassment. So maybe that's accurate. And again, that's his right to do so. It is. If they honestly feel that my presence will damage the book, it will. I don't want that. Good. I want the book to shine. Blah, blah, blah. Artists. Yeah. But it does set a troubling precedent. One we've already seen already. James Gunn, Jessica White, two horrible people that deserve to lose their jobs. Chuck, just like you. James Gunn, terrible person, deserved to lose his job. Jessica White, terrible person who deserved to lose her job because both of these people were far left-wing weirdos who curse out the customers and who, imperil the companies they work for with crazy, inappropriate, sick, deviant behavior and language that companies like Disney cannot be associated with. So folks fired because they riled up the wasp's nest of an asterisk gate. So I think he's blaming Comicsgate or Gamergate or something. Well, I mean, look, we don't have any power, Chuck. I know that you think. I know that it's like, this is the thing about SJWs. Comicsgate, for example, is either super powerful or nothing, or irrelevant, or a hate group that's going to disappear, that's going to die any second. One of the two. Comicsgate is either super powerful and to blame for everything, to blame for every time these people face consequences for their behavior, or we're nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Gamergate, same thing. Wendig had previously confirmed they'd have written 3 of the books. Blah, 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 blah. Really didn't. Yeah, this is garbage chair too. Comic book Star Wars. Didn't do a good job of explaining what happened here. So let's just try the mother load here. This is Hollywood Reporter. Now, these people, I have sadly come to realize they are garbage tier. They are absolutely garbage. They are bigoted. They are left wing. And it is sad because I thought like they would be serious, that this was a serious publication. But no. All right. The title had been left in limbo following the last month's exit of Chuck Wendig. Following the firing of writer Chuck Wendig, Marvel Entertainment has canceled its Star Wars comic book series Shadow of Vader, the Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. The 5-issue series was announced last month, blah, blah, blah. All right. So that's good. That's good. Where's the reason? Where's the reason? Uh, 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 uh. The reason given by Marvel for the cancellation was a change in publishing plans for the 2 lead characters in the series. Yeah, right. That series, like Shadow of Vader, was partially completed. Nothing. Absolutely no information here as to why Chuck Wendig was fired. Fascinating. All right, so also garbage tier. I don't know what to say. This is big news, obviously. Graham McMillan wrote it. No wonder. Oh, no wonder. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you write for Wired too, don't you, Graham? Garbage there as well. All right, so I am going to turn out and see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's read some super chats. And now we're going to do a little Q&A. So if you guys have anything that you would like to say, now is the time to say it, and I will answer you. Let me get these super chats first because I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sending me them. If I can get them. All right, they're right here. Unionized SJW Soy-Thugs. I have a way with words. I really do. All right. Let's see what happens here. Jam Creates, thanks for $1.99. 13-hour workday, home in time for Ian. Pot pie. Perfect. Snakebit Goat says, I will be eating a Mags comic on camera. Really? Fascinating. This guy's actually going to eat a Max Visaggio comic. Are you going to swallow the comic? Are you going to actually fully digest the comic? Or are you just going to chew it up? Could you eat paper like that? I just think that eating that much pulp is going to be very, very, very bad for you. I really do. I would be careful about that. James Dean, creator of Conflict, says ridiculous. Everyone knows it was war campaign. Well, yeah, if like I get blamed for most things, and if I don't get blamed for it, it's war campaign. Those fans, those boys, they did it. Ian Lee says, Uncle E, yell at me in that gay voice. Ian Lee, you don't tell me what to do. Now stop it right now. Knock it off. And it's not gay, it's soy. Most of the gay guys that I know talk, kind of tough. Walter Bonham says, happy Thanksgiving, Ethan. I hope you will enjoy all of that pie. Here's some extra money for extra forks. Delicious. Thank you, Walter. I do appreciate you. Ascension Comics says, the culture that Marvel has allowed, it screams they are not in control of the runaway train. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the thing. Chuck Wendig getting fired was no big deal. Like this continues to be a shock to me. When you actually nail them, when you actually find them, when you uproot these people, they do scream like vampires with the lights turned on. And you just go, whoa, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that, that was the thing. They kind of embed their way into something, and they're like, we have our little agent here. We've got our sleeper agent here. And then once you actually find him, uncover him, and God forbid, uproot him and fire him, they will scream bloody murder. And, again, when you look at just the amount of articles that we just poured through, all with like varying degrees of accuracy and honesty about what actually happened and what's going on, I hope I clarified it for you. I hope you actually realize that this is a real thing going on. When a comic book gets canceled, it doesn't get covered by all of these news outlets like that. And Chuck Wendig is no big deal. It's not about Chuck Wendig. It's not like it's Stephen King got fired. It's Chuck Wendig. Nobody cares about him, except that he's a social justice warrior who's an outspoken far leftist who's running his mouth on social media. And the fact that he was fired meant that SJWs feel a lot less secure about the amount of activity they're allowed to get involved with on social media. They find that troubling, and they find it chilling. It has a chilling effect. That's one thing they'll say. They'll all say it has a chilling effect. Interesting. Ascension Comics again says Polygon equals gay werewolf porn. Oh yeah. So if I clicked on that Polygon link and it did lead me to porn, it would be gay werewolf porn. Yeah. Well, all right. I'm glad I didn't click it. I don't know what that sounds. I don't know what that would be. I can't picture it, but it doesn't sound good. Sierra Whiskey says, "How about that Lego Voltron? Catch my build video. Did you already build it, Sierra?" Uh, yeah, that Lego Voltron is one of the nicest things I've ever seen. And when I was a kid, I loved Voltron. I still do. I absolutely love Voltron. I love the idea of things forming robots. I don't know. I love that. Like you have a little robot, and that's why I have a Devastator behind me. I bought the Constructicons, and I haven't opened that yet. But I might actually do an open, and I don't know. Maybe will I or will I not? I haven't decided if I want to take those out of the box or not. But in any case, yeah, that Lego Voltron looks like a dream come true. I would have tried to have built that out of my meager Lego collection when I was a kid, and to see it actually perfectly put together and functional is very exciting. Mark C says, Uncle E, that Obi-Wan Hot Toys looks wicked cool. It looks like a concept piece for a Kenobi movie. Yeah, it does, but it's actually the original Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not Ewan McGregor, which is it's pretty neat. It's like if they had done the Kenobi movie in the 1970s, 1979 Kenobi, I guess that's what it would look like. And yeah, I might pull the trigger on that. But no, I think the Han Solo and Carbonite is the next thing I need to get. Darth Bobcat says Trump election equals Wendig harassment. Trump 2020, please. Yeah, I know. These people don't know what harassment actually is. Uh, they induce harassment. They have, obviously, they literally do plan out harassment campaigns and they threaten them and they know how to organize them. I mean, you look at that, that article from that writer, Chase, whatever his name is, about how, hey, this is what we're going to do to you if you get in our way. And that's very, very real. I know friends who I've known for 20 years, who I haven't spoken with since Trump was elected. And if I do speak to them, I speak to them in private and they say, please, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid to let people know that we're friends. It's awful. It's absolutely. I don't talk about that very much, but it's a reality. It's what's happening right now. They do kind of enforce this kind of thing where it's like, hey, people become scabs, and if you misbehave in their eyes, or if you do something that makes their their political ambitions difficult. What do you think Comicsgate is? I mean, I keep saying Comicsgate, like they keep calling it a harassment movement. It isn't. It isn't a harassment movement. We're not harassing anyone. We're simply criticizing what's going on in comics right now, which is manifestly obvious. They admit to it at this point, accidentally sometimes, and then building our own version of the comic book industry. And they call that, well, it's a harassment campaign. We have to destroy it. We have to harass and destroy everyone involved with it. We're going to call you all racist. We're going to call you thieves and grifters. We're going to do everything we can to make it so that you cannot succeed. Fortunately, we don't need them to succeed. We just don't need them at all. We just can continue to laugh and do what we do. But I refuse to just ignore this. I have to point this out to you guys because you need to know. You need to know exactly what's going on in this industry right now. Anthony Vogel says not even one whole paragraph in CBR lies. Their whole article was lies. I'm shocked by that. I don't remember CBR being that blatantly dishonest. I don't remember that. Mr. Snuffle says, if you want Han Solo in, does that make you Jabba? In Carbonite, you meant to say. Yeah, it does. Absolutely does. Did you see my new opener today, guys? What did you think of the new Comic Artist Pro Secrets opening sequence? Did you dig it or what? I mean, it just seemed like I was sitting around thinking about, I started this gangster shit, and I was like, Jabba the Hutt is actually a gangster. We've got to do that. We've got to do that. And it's, those openers. Oh, new intro is dope. Thank you, Zebulon Pike. Thank you, Elric Hayuga. Appreciate that. Low Res Boy says, missed the opening intro. Well, just watch any of my videos that I posted today, Low Res Boy. I didn't show it here for this live stream, but if you watch any of my 10-minute, 15-minute videos that I post, it opens those videos up. So it's Jabba the Hutt opener. All of this is in 10 seconds. You have to tell a real quick story. The story has to be, I started this gangster shit, and then this is the thanks I get. So it's you. This is you doing something good, and then getting punished for it. And it's like you have to wrap it up. You have to do it in little images in 10 seconds. So Jabba the Hutt being a gangster, hugging Princess Leia, showing her affection, and then being choked to death. That's the thanks you get. That's what it's all about. So yeah, that was definitely fun to make. I'm gonna make another one soon too. I have another idea already. All right. How many do I have altogether? I've got a Luke, I've got Leia, I've got Han Solo, I've got Boba Fett, I've got Ryan Johnson, Darth Vader, and then Jabba the Hutt. So I've got 7 openers altogether, and then I've got the alternate happy one with Luke Skywalker and Express Yourself as a theme opener. People like to see that sometimes. Should I do a Lando Calrissian one? Yeah. Spike into Madness says, please make a video with all your different openers. I thought about it. I thought about doing that. Matt Becker says, Ethan, don't call these people liberals. They're the opposite of liberal. Matt, I hope you know, I make a concerted effort not to do so. I think it's important to draw a distinction between good liberals, who I can agree with because I feel like I am liberal on many issues, from SJWs who are just destructive, hateful people. And if you are a Democrat in this chat, you're somebody who considers themselves a liberal. I want you to know that you're welcome here, and I want you to understand that when I'm talking about SJWs, I'm not talking about you. If you have never tried to dox and destroy someone's life over politics, if you're not seething with rage all the time and hatred, you just believe that Hillary should have won. You're welcome. You're welcome here. You're okay. You're liberal. We disagree about many things, but you're a normal person. We do have to just kind of say we have to team up against these extremists. We have to. Just regular practical people have to team up against extremists. Left and right. Left and right. Right-wing extremists and left-wing extremists. All right, let's see what else is here. Mr. Snuffle says, if you want Han Solo... Yeah, I answered that one. Okay. Mike Jenkins says, got a Jersey girl, eh? We have to go to a Springsteen show for her birthday. True love, because Springsteen blows. I went to that is True Love. I'm not a Springsteen fan either. But when I was in Toronto for Fan Expo Canada, maybe 2009 or 8 or something like that, maybe 10, Bruce Springsteen happened to be playing right in the arena that was attached to the hotel that I stayed at. So I walked outside and I bought a couple of bootleg tickets. I think I paid $150 each for these tickets, from a scalper. And I was right down there on the ground for an enormous Bruce Springsteen concert. I only knew like a few of his songs. Like I'm not a big fan at all, but I drank cheap beer out of a can and had a great time with open arena. Nighttime show with fireworks and everything, and I'm just drinking can after can of cheap beer and just with a friend. I brought a friend down with me too. Fantastic time. So I'd go there again. I'd see Bruce Springsteen. You know who I was happy to see? I was happy to see Silvio from Sopranos up there. That was the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, that's Silvio from The Sopranos playing bass or whatever. Razdog says he sings like McCain talked with an angry clenched jaw. Yeah. Absolutely. Pabst Blue Ribbon. What was it? No, it was Coors, probably Coors Light or something. It wasn't a beer that I normally drink. It wasn't bad, it's just not tasted like water to me. All right. Let's see. James Dean Creator. But by the way, those kind of beers, those kind of cheap beers are good because you could just drink more of them. They're super light. And you could just, I must have drank like 8 of those during the concert. And Bruce Springsteen sang Twist and Shout. And I was twisting. I was twisting and shouting. All right. Let's see here. Oh, James Dean Creative Conflict. Disney hired me to write Vader with werewolves. Nice. Now that is going to get tricky right there. John Malin, instantly interested. Edward Hogg says, EVS, please cover Doctor Who. It's really sad. Yeah, I don't know anything about Doctor Who. I'm not a big fan of Doctor Who. So I'm not sure what I can do about that. I know, from what I understand, the Whammon have taken over Doctor Who. Is that the case? What's up with Doctor Who? Is it like whammon and it's ruined now? Hey, John Malin. Yeah, I don't even know. Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Nurse Who, all those jokes. Yeah, I don't know. And people just don't like it. As soon as social justice uh enters into it, it just gets ruined. People just don't like it. They don't like it. I don't know why they don't understand this. People just feel icky about it. They just feel gross. Like social justice makes people sick, and they don't want to. Yeah, they just don't want to be a part of it. And they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to pay for it. They don't enjoy it. It's not enjoyable. Mike Jenkins says, "Yes, sir, Uncle E. I love that we have a real voice. We do. We do have a real voice together, all of us." Mike Jenkins also says, "Yeah, nah, they didn't say that." Mike Jenkins says, "How can we miss you if you won't go away, Chucky?" Um, yeah, he won't. Well, I think is he trying to go away? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But I mean, look, it's not personal. Like he thinks that, like he's got this narrative going. Like Chuck Wendig thinks Chuck Wendig is like this. He's like, okay, I know I've been fired from Marvel. Now, what can we get out of this? Like, what is what's the best case scenario? Oh, I can take someone down with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to accuse Comicsgate of being the reason why I was fired. Endless harassment from Comicsgate, says Chuck Wendig. I'm going to use some wacky, weirdo pseudoscientists who are going to prove that Ethan Van Sciver alone causes me to be harassed and messages about me to be spread far and wide on the internet, and that's what confused Marvel Comics and accidentally made them fire me. Now, Chuck Wendig, if you want to say that I am the reason why you got fired, I'm happy to agree. That's cool. Thank you. I would like to be the reason why wars are won. I would like to be the reason for everything good that happens in the world. I know I'm just one person, but if you want to blame me for Trump being elected, thanks. Okay, if as many people who want to believe that, I will. That's great. The more, the merrier. I would like everyone to think that I'm the reason Trump was elected, the reason why ISIS is on the run, and the reason why Chuck Wendig was fired from Marvel Comics. It's all because of me. That's fine. But the reality is, you're a jackass. Everyone can see it, and it's just, blaming me isn't going to help anyone. It's not going to hurt me either. Actually, it's going to kind of help me with this community. So, is it going to hurt me more with your community? I don't think it matters. Chuck. Fan Advocacy Network says, Ethan, I pulled a muscle in my ass today. It's incredibly painful now, and I'm laid out in bed. Listening to you makes my ass feel better. Thanks. Well, you're welcome, Fan Advocacy Network. You are welcome. JP4 says EVS subcount stream is live. Oh yeah, JP4 started a YouTube channel that only focuses on my subcount stream. And so if you want to watch my fans grow and shrink, you can go subscribe to that channel. I'm 11 people away from 81,500, but I shouldn't say that because now you guys are all going to unsubscribe and make me sad. Gojirify says he was fired herkily jerkily, and he was wobbled and wibbled out of the building by security, and then he was thrown into the trebuchet and fired headlong. Higgledy piggledy. What's another? Oh God, awful, just awful. Zebulon Pike says, "Will consider Streamlabs super chats. No like YouTube." Zebulon, I'm working on it. I need help. Can I be honest with you? I really need someone to come over here and help me with my computer. I'm an old man. I can't figure this out. And I would like some help. I can learn, but it just takes up so much time. I'm watching these videos on Streamlabs, and I'm trying to figure out, or not on Streamlabs, on OBS, and I'm trying to figure out how to build my OBS streaming service. But it's taking some time. I will get it done. Jam Creates says, I have 9 subs on my YouTube, almost 2 digits, young lady. All right, everyone go to Jam Creates and subscribe to Jam Creates' channel. Let's see if we can get him up to 10 subscribers on YouTube. St. John the Philosopher says, I've written an executive summary for a business to unite creators, like what you were discussing on the last stream. Can I send it to you? Yeah, this is more, I need to get involved with some people who actually know how to run a business, and I've got big names offering to give me a lot of money. You guys would be impressed if you knew. A lot of people want to. This is the thing. I mean, all of this like Comicsgate is dead. No, no, no. We've got big, big, big important people on the right, famous people on the right, who are mainstream personalities who believe in this and want to get involved and want to give us money to build this business up. Investors. I don't know if we need investors. I don't know if I need venture capital. I'm not sure if I need it at all right now. I have a lot of money. But I might, I might do it. I would like to see, yeah, sure. Send me your business, send me your summary. I would like to see it. John Whalen says, EVS, can you take Wendig in the octagon for Star Wars? Like fight him? Yeah, probably. What do you mean, like box him? Like, yeah, probably. Julius von Brunk says, I made a Lego and Nintendo 64 Transformer. It's on my channel. Interesting. Okay. Uh, Triple Herbal says, as a Star Wars purist, I can easily say that at least 50% of Star Wars Clone Wars is excellent, and you're doing yourself a great disservice in dismissing it. Triple Herbals, I have not dismissed it. Believe me, I haven't. I've just been working really, really, really hard, and it's difficult for me to pay attention. Like, I'm listening to things while I'm drawing, so I can't pay attention to Clone Wars. It's a very visual show, and I really need to be like running on the treadmill or something. Maybe I can watch one episode a day while I run on the treadmill, but I can't. I can't do it while I'm drawing, and that's the problem. Sierra Whiskey, thanks for $1.99. I'll be building Voltron tomorrow on my channel. Okay, good. All right, so we'll watch the Voltron build on Sierra Whiskey. Arathi, thank you for $5. Self-righteousness is the root of all evil. Keep fighting the good fight. I'm trying. I'm just one man. But fortunately, I have John Malin on my side, and John Malin's a good ally. F and Craig says, how can I get my Hall of Heroes Cyberpunk #1 signed? That's tough. I don't know. See, this is the thing. I'm going to open up. Oh man, it's so doesn't matter. I'm going to open up a PO box. If people want to send me garbage, if people want to send me death threats, I guess that's what's going to happen. Right? Is that correct? I like, what's the worst thing? What can people send me if I open up a PO box? Am I going to receive awfulness? I guess it's worth it. Well, Adrian Stone says, don't do it. Well, a lot of people want me to do it so that they can do things like this. Like F and Craig's like, can I send you my Hall of Heroes Cyberfrog to get signed? And then, if I did that, Max77 says, please PO box. Thanks for $2, Max. Anthrax. Yeah. A lot of gross stuff, man. Yeah, dildos. Yeah, they send me, they send gummy dicks and they say, eat a bag of dicks. But I mean, at the same time, are they going to send me anything that can hurt me or just hurt my feelings? I don't really have any feelings anymore. My feelings are gone. So Vince Rush Art says you could do bad unboxings like iDubbbz TV. LOL. Mike Jenkins says NPCs get mad because EVS has an adult work ethic. Yeah, if I get dangerous stuff, I don't like that. I don't want to get dangerous stuff, but I don't know, man. These people are nuts. Jam Creates is at 15 subs now, double digits. Good job. Yeah, this community is good. They will subscribe to your channel and support you. Yeah, most people are saying don't do it. Most people are saying don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, it sucks for everyone, but it is true. Like I think I'm at risk. I'm at unique risk. Chuck Wendig thinks he's at unique risk. He is not at unique risk. I am. These people are crazy. They want to kill me. The worst I'll get is glitter bombs. I think I'd be outraged by a glitter bomb. I would be particularly outraged if some filthy, dirty hippie wanted to dump a glitter bomb on my face or on my head when I was trying to sign things. I would never stop punching that hippie. I would get up, I would glitter and glisten while I beat the living hell out of that hippie. They'd be down on the ground. You would have to pull. I'd be like, you're not gonna make me sparkle. I would beat the living hell out of them. Their own mother wouldn't recognize them. Do not, do not make me glitter and shine. Not at all. That's what you get. I consider that shiny assault. I consider that sparkly assault to put a glitter bomb on me. It's assault that glistens. I'm not having it. I'm just warning people. Hippies are good people, says Red Syrup. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, you put that glitter on me and I will yeah, I don't want to sparkle. I don't want to look like a shiny vampire. I don't want to look hella fabulous while I beat your ass. But I will. It's just... so the alt-right stance on glitter, find out what that is. I assume they're against glitter. I think that's kind of a moderate stance to be against glitter bombs. Like most people are against glitter. Glitter assault. Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get bedazzled. Not at all. John Malin doesn't either. Well, John Malin might, honestly. Melissa Harris says, me and you can both kick the hippie's ass. Yeah. So what's the worst? Valdez D. Frank says, test it for 2 months, do an unboxing, and open with care. Test it for 2 months. Oh, you mean test the P.O. box for 2 months, not a package for 2 months. So I would have a P.O. box for 2 months, and I would just unbox and then, and just be careful about it. Yeah. I mean, these people are psychotic, though. They're really, they're psychotic. Think about how this is all about comics. And think about how it's all about comics. It's all about an industry that's shrinking. None of these people are making any money. Like, it'd be one thing if they're all making like hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're protecting this turf, man, because they've, like, if this made sense to me, like this, in order for this to make sense to me, this would have to be like mafia. Like, it would be like, hey, this is yeah, there's a lot of money here that we're protecting. And, we got to make sure that, we got to keep the conservatives out. Matt Horkin says, V was talking about you joining his D&D campaign. I'm gonna. When is it? When is he playing D&D? I'll go on there with them. I'm going to go on there with Sargon of Akkad. Let's see. Oh, snap. Michael Avenatti was evicted from his law offices in Newport Beach. That's good news. That is, let's check that out. That's important. Good stuff is happening every single day. And this is the thing. There's no point in feeling sad. There's no point in feeling blue. We are winning. I mean, we're definitely winning. Let's check this. Let me see. How can I do this? Oh, yeah. Wait. Well, I mean, doesn't mean the boomerism disappears instantly just because we're winning. Here we go. Did I hit a... Gross. All right, here we go. Michael Avenatti. By the way, Mark Zaid's favorite attorney is Michael Avenatti. So, I got to have a little conversation, a brief little interaction with Michael Avenatti like a week ago. Michael Avenatti has reportedly been evicted from his law office in California just days after he was arrested on domestic violence allegations. Avenatti, the lawyer for adult film actress Stormy Daniels, lost an appeal on Friday to block the eviction of his law practice from its Newport Beach offices, according to the Los Angeles Times. Judge Robert J. Moss ordered Avenatti and his staff to leave the Egan Avenatti law firm office by Monday. The firm was reportedly $213,254 behind in rent payments for 4 months. Dude's behind in rent payments, and he's fighting Trump with the... How does that work out? Alyssa Milano disavows Avenatti. That's big of her. I do not care which side he's on, says the charmed actress on Wednesday. Yeah, I was worried about what Alyssa Milano would say. We know him. He comes on the show. It was very upsetting to hear this. Very disappointing. If it proves to be true, I will disavow him. I need people to disavow. So far, I can disavow Nasser. I did disavow your boy Zach once, just because I was asked to. They said, avoid, like, we want you to disavow diversity in comics. I said, okay. And I kicked him out of Comicsgate. Instantly. All right, so all the Democrats are disavowing Michael Avenatti now, and that's fine. That's good news. All these guys beat their wives. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Disgusting. Degenerate behavior. Be on guard, ladies. Be on guard. Let's see. Joe Marone says, remember that episode of Facts of Life when Tootie saw Jermaine Jackson backstage and a fan sent a bomb? It's like that. You know, Jermaine Jackson had a song called Dynamite back then. I think it was called Dynamite. Was that Jermaine Jackson or Jermaine Stewart? Do you remember Jermaine Stewart? Hold on a second. Yeah. All right. Let me get my... Yeah, I don't do this very much anymore, to be honest with you. Jermaine Stewart. Not a word from your lips. You just took for granted that I'd want a skinny dip. A quick hit. That's your game, but I'm not a piece of meat. Stimulate my brain. Night is young, so are we. Let's get to know each other better. Slow and easily. Take my hand, let's get on the floor. Move your body to the music. Maybe then you'll score. So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Na 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 na. Is that like the best song ever? No. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, that was Jermaine Stewart. I think that song was written for a woman to sing, but instead, it was sung by a man, which was unfortunate. A man, in quotes. All right, let me read some more super chats, and then we're gonna sing a couple songs, guys. If you want, we haven't done that in a while. We haven't sung very many songs. Joseph Meager says, "Help me." All right, hold on a second. Zebulon Pike says, you already get backhole picks. Don't give out P.O. Box. Yeah, I don't want to get any more backhole picks at all. Not even front hole picks. I don't want any picks. Tetran says, glitter bombing Ethan turns him into the true Rainbow Brute. And I guess I would definitely glitter and shine while I cut someone's head off if they did that to me. There's no way I'm going to suffer that humiliation. No way. I will. I'm warning you. Gojirify says his law firm to Avenatti beat it. Mike Jenkins says EVS says, oh snap, he's definitely from my generation. Yeah, do people say that anymore? Do people say oh snap? I don't know why they don't say oh snap anymore. F and Craig says, I live 1.5 hours from Chicago. Any chance of a meetup outside of Star Wars Celebration for a signing? If so, I will allow you to disavow me. F and Craig, I would love to disavow you. We are going to do Star Wars Celebration as the High Council, and frankly, I'm going to throw a pie party. All right, we're going to order a lot of pies, and you're all invited. Everyone's invited to the pie party. Okay, they're pie and beers, and I'll sign whatever you have, of course. You know, I'm there to. I'll be there. I'll be at your service. Lord Vulcan says Wilson Phillips with a lot of exclamation points. Somebody wants a little Wilson Phillips. Look at this. Evil Gail Simone. This is from Liger Bomb 27. Evil Gail Simone attacked Blake Northcott and sent a gang of SJW lunatics after her just because she said she'd write Vader. Northcott left Twitter for a while because of the harassment. Insane. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, listen, Gail is in on those discussions. Anyone who is going to come in there and take and take that job, anyone who's going to fill that need, is going to receive harassment. That is the deal. That's the arrangement. And Gail Simone is one of them. She's just one of them. So she would use her platform to incite that harassment, which is what happened to poor Blake Northcott. Mike Jenkins says, and drink some cherry wine. Vince Rush Art says, when do we get a live EVS concert? That's a good question. I don't think there's any desire for one at all. Jam Create says, you doubled my sub count. I'm at 21 now. Thanks. Well, thank you. You're quite welcome. John Whalen says, Gail is hot. Well, you know, I am not going to argue that point at all. Not at all. But yeah, I mean, that is the thing. That is the way they behave. You know, they do all, you know, organize this kind of harassment. They have plans for it. They, you know, social engineering is a big deal, and they, you know, they do this social engineering using union tactics. It's pretty ridiculous. Sierra Whiskey says, Uncle E, I think you missed one of my super chats. Well, let me go backwards and see if I can find it. I thought I got them all. I apologize. Sierra, you said you're building Voltron on your channel tomorrow. That was one of your super chats. And you said, how about that Lego Voltron? Catch my build video. And I think that's all of them. Did I, right? There are two of them today, tonight. Lord Vulcan says, that's like saying Ren is hot. Not the Kylo Ren, not the Kylo one. Oh, Renfamous. Yeah. You know, listen. Jack Sparrow, thank you for a $2 donation. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mostly care about how people are on the inside. I'm married. I'm not looking at women in that way anymore. I have the perfect woman, the one that I always wanted. She is my wife. Now I'm just looking for people to behave themselves. And that, you know, the beauty on the inside is what is actually important. And none of these people are beautiful on the inside. They're ugly as hell on the inside. Mike Jenkins says, listen to Lee Perry Super Ape. What is Lee Perry Super Ape? I've never heard of that. Sierra Whiskey, okay, says, I think I missed you reading it. My bad, Uncle Lee. Yeah, just make sure that you're satisfied. I did read it and remarked upon, I think I invited everybody to go watch it because it should be pretty cool. Disavowed Greg, $2. Okay, looking forward to signature. Thanks. Yeah, so I'll go, you know, I'll go do the Star Wars thing and I hope it's safe there. I don't care. Hopefully, you know, I'll probably get security. You know, this channel keeps getting bigger and bigger, so I'll probably need security protection just even from people who like me, just to make sure that I have a little room to move. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time, guys. We'll have a big party. We'll have pies. We'll have beers. And I'll sign autographs, get drunk, and maybe even do some sketches. Michael Roth says, it's your true calling, Uncle E. You just need auto-tune. Oh, for when I sing? All right. Go Jurify says, you are blessed, sir. So happy you have Andrea. Yeah, you know, me too. Very happy about her. All right, we'll sing. Let's do it. Let's do a little music. Let's do a little musical performance tonight. We haven't done one of these in a while, have we? Not at all. And I know you miss it. It's hard to do musical performances when I have other guests on. I don't want to bore them. And not only that, but when they talk, it breaks up the live stream. So I don't know if that's shaking the microphone. Hang on a second. I have the microphone on the piano. Let's put you there. My bomb shelter is pretty nice. took Dwight Eisenhower's advice. It's full of things I like. A stationary bike, powdered milk, Slim Jims, and rice. It's not as if I asked my spouse to excavate beneath our house. She told me it was silly. She said, now come on, really. There's only so much she allows. Yeah, let me turn this on, by the way. Am I hearing this properly? And it's a real shame because when the bombs are exploding, you'll all be freeloading, but I'm prepared, you see. With the mushroom gun booming, there's just enough room in my bomb shelter for me and maybe my cat. What do you think of that? My bomb shelter is pretty nice. No, wait. My bomb shelter has bonsai trees. A generator with DVDs. But it's only one man's size, so while you're vaporized, I'll enjoy its amenities. My bomb shelter is mine, all mine. So I don't want to hear you whine. It won't seem so dumb when the zombies come and I'm watching Star Wars Episode 9. Yeah. Let's see if you're cocky when it's Nagasaki outside in your little town. You'll absorb radiation while I'm on vacation 25 feet underground. I'll be drinking milk in pajamas made of silk. My bomb shelter is pretty nice. You should take Eisenhower's advice, because we like Ike. Here we go. I want to do karate on your lifeless body. I want to hang you like a heavy bag. And I'll make all your friends watch when I crane kick your dead crotch. You'll evacuate and make them gag. And that's what you get. That's what you get. I don't know what you did, but that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. It's a love song. I want to drink a few highballs and gouge out your eyeballs and pee into your hollow skull. While hellfire's waiting, I'll notify Satan to torture your immortal soul. And that's what you get. That's what you get. I don't know what you did, but that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. All right, beautiful. I'm going to stand up. I'm sitting and playing, and it's no fun. I like to stand up. You and I thought we'd fly to Rio for dinner. We must have been high, but you and me and another 3 friends of yours crashed, George, Mike, and Emily. And now there's nothing to eat except for the meat that once was your friends. who lived up the street, and I saved the last piece of George for you. Though I gorged on the other two, I saved the last of George for you. And I saved the last piece of George for you. L'chaim, if you are a Jew, but I saved the last of George for you. You were so right the other night when we disagree if there'd still be room for Dwight. Now we'll make amends when our dinner date ends. But I gotta say, you've got great taste in friends, and I saved the last piece of George for you. He's vegan, so he's tough to chew, but I saved the last of George for you. And I saved the last piece of George for you. Though I gorged on the other two, I saved the last of George for you. I'm out of practice. I'm totally out of practice. All right, let's go. Let's do another song. While you are asleep, that's when I creep and I lick all the butter in your fridge. When you are not awake, I unwrap your Land O'Lake and I lick all the butter in your fridge. The butter in your fridge. The butter in your fridge. So have some parquet, it contains my DNA from when I licked all the butter in your fridge. And have a pat of blue bonnet, I practically spat upon it when I licked all the butter in your fridge. Thank you so much. I know there's pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? You've got no one to blame for your own penislessness. You got yourself into your own mess, letting Chuck Wendig pass you by. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna hold you down and say goodbye. Till then, baby, are you gonna let him hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know things change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. Wolverine is gay. Hold on for one more day. I can't do any more. It's awful. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. Very nice. Mike Jenkins says EVS took some shrooms tonight. I wish I did. That would have made that more bearable. All right, let me see what else we've got here. John Whalen's. Wait. Mike Jenkins says it's the greatest reggae album ever. Download it. Mike Whalen says, Uncle, check out Game Dojo setup. You might like it. Mike Jenkins says, I'd really love to be doing shots of Patron with E. Party on Civi says, tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. Gojirify says, Thomas Dolby, please. Mike Jenkins says, EVS took shrooms tonight. And Frusby, thanks for $10. Wow. I got to thank SJWs and Soy Wars for leading me to Comicsgate and my Uncle E. Keep up the amazing work with a frog emoji. Thank you. Valdez D. Frank says, I'm telling you, do a playlist with your songs. And Larry Romano says, yay, thank you. Yeah. Fun. Should we do the Pablo Hidalgo song? No more. We'll do it. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do Pablo Hidalgo. We'll do everything that we missed. And there were so many songs that we just didn't have time for. We just didn't have time for all these songs. All right. Yeah. Getting back to my roots. I like that idea. Thanks, everyone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, would you please subscribe to my channel? I would appreciate it. If you're kind of new here, that'd be great. Hit the bell for notifications. Definitely want you to join this community. Please click thumbs up, as it will help in the algorithm. Otherwise, I just can't do these live streams all the time because it does actually hurt the channel to do live streams. Isn't that ridiculous? It just hurts to do the live streams. So it sucks. But yeah, please do subscribe. Please click the thumbs up, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. What do you think of that? Good. Yeah, Lord Vulcan, thanks for $5. He says encore. Migo song next time. Yeah, maybe we could do that. John Whalen says gay. All right, guys. I will catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Have a great night.